Well, good day. It's the 16th day of June 2021. As promised, this is the training of the Deputy United States Marshal. It's going to focus on how to prepare for the academy, what you will go through, it's short and concise, what you will go through, and how it differs from the training of a DEA or FBI special agent. Okay, the Marshals Training Academy is a 22 and a half week program. It's based at FLETC in Glencoe, Georgia, and hires all newly hired or trains all newly hired Deputy US Marshals, Series 0082. The training, like I said, it's about 22 to 23 weeks in length. Of all the academies, I think that they have down there, it differs from the criminal investigator training. It differs from the police package training. Now, the training is done by both Marshals service personnel and FLETC staff. But it's, again, I'm going to get into this a little bit more detail as we go on, but it's very different than that type of training that's undergone by special agent criminal investigators. And I would say it's more tactical, more physical in nature. Now, how to prepare for this? And this is from what they recommend. Now, of course, there is the PT test that you take before you're hired, and you have to take that as well once you're in the academy. But while you're in the academy, I would think that it seems like the training that I have seen is about as rigorous as I would say the Marine Officer Candidate School program. So unless you are in very good shape, you're going to have a hard time. So I'll have in a moment the different standards, but you don't want to just pass with the minimum standard. As a matter of fact, I think if you just have a very low standard passing, you won't get hired. And the reason for that is they don't want you to take the test when you get down there and fail, because with a PT test, protocol is everything. But again, they strongly encourage you to be in top physical condition. You're going to be exercising in warm, humid climate of southern Georgia. And I exercise in warm, humid climate of Virginia, and it's hot, So if you are prone to heat stroke, it's you should practice running, working out outside in the heat, not so much indoor gym. And you should be running up to 10 miles, okay, from 1.5 to 10 miles, and keep a fairly good pace at it. And the only way you can get good at running is to run. Treadmills do not do it. Ski machines don't do it. Stair machines don't do it. You got to get out of the gym and go outside and just do it. And during the lengthy runs, classes are also involved in periodic and repeated vigorous calisthenics, sit-ups, push-ups, mountain climbers, and you run through obstacle courses, sprints, conditioning activities. And during the last week, you have to pass another physical fitness test, the same one you came in, but remember, the protocol will be a bit harder. And the test itself, the final test, and also the entry-level test, you're going to be doing a lot of PT, but these are the tests. It's a sit and reach, which is nothing, and then a 1 minute push-up, 1 minute sit-up, and a 1.5 mile run. And let's take a look at that right now. If you're under 30, which most of you probably are, the maximum, over 61 push-ups, you get the highest score. If you're over 30, you can do 51 and get the maximum score. The minimums you would have to do is 33 and 27, depending on your age. But again, think of a good push-up, a picture-perfect push-up with put a bar of soap or something on the deck and go all the way down and hit it with your chest and then up all the way, locking your arms. Because again, you can do 80 push-ups good or 20, 80 poor and 20 good, depending on how well you score it. You've got to score it very honestly and really get yourself worked up into shape to do that. The sit-ups aren't that difficult. 54 or over is maximum. 50 if you're over 30. You got to do at least 40, which shouldn't be a problem at all. The run. This is where it's going to kill a lot of people. To get the highest score, if you're under 30, it's under 8.15 seconds. It's 8.45 if you're over 30. And the minimums, is 12:18, That's about an 8-minute mile. So if you have a lot of muscle, if you're spending a lot of time in the weight room, you probably have a lot of superfluous muscle. That's not going to do you a lot of good when you're doing obstacle courses, when you're doing distance running. Okay, let's see here. Okay, the academics, the legal training. You're going to have a bit on search and seizure, the U.S. Code, and the use of force. It's significantly less than is obtained or received by special agents. And there's a reason for that. You're not going to be conducting investigations. As a special agent, you conduct investigations, you put together investigations, you have to know the law inside and out. A marshal, you really don't do that. The only type of investigation they do is to locate fugitives, okay? Other academic training that you'll receive, how to conduct fugitive investigations, protective detail, courtroom security, high threat trials, and then just basically your different databases. Not all that difficult, I don't think, not all that challenging. The academic standards, you have 7 exams. You have to score 70% or more is passing. If you fail the test, you get 1 retake. If you don't pass it, then you're out, and you only get 1 failure. But there's no reason anyone should not pass these standards. There's really no reason anyone should not pass the physical standards, provided you've taken the time to get yourself in shape. So if you know that you want to apply for this job, and it may be next year this time that you're in the academy, now is the time really to start working out, not 90 days before you go. Now, what other type of training do you receive? Of course, you receive the firearms training, the tactical driving, fun stuff, which everyone gets. Prisoner search, restraint, and transport. Okay, a big part of their job. Defensive tactics, big part of their job. Raid planning and execution, big part of their job. Surveillance, not so much a big part of their job, unless it's really for protective detail type of things. And here's a firearms qualification course that they may or may not use. It's basically, again, a lot of your firing is done at the 25-yard line, which is not what I would do. I mean, the FBI and DEA has it completely different. They do everything at 3, 5, 7, and it goes down the further back you get. Here it's 3 yards. You fire 3 shots, 2 body, 1 to the head, 4 seconds. And as you go backwards, you get more time. And then you have 2 sessions or 60-second facings at the 25-yard line where you fire 12 shots, 6 standing, reload, 3 kneeling, and then 3 prone, which no reason anyone can't pass this. I think that's the easiest part of training. What are some of the differences between, for instance, let's say my agency, DEA, and the Marshals? Again, with the Marshal Service, your work is going to be assigned. In DEA, as an agent, even a GS7, GS9, your work is generated. You have to generate the work. So they drop you as an agent in Fredericksburg, Virginia. You start working on major drug investigations. Well, where do you get them? You find them. That's where you get it. Here you're going to have, your work assigned to you. Again, your emphasis is going to be on protection in the courts and enforcement. Your emphasis in DEA is going to be on investigations. Emphasis on fugitive apprehension. Emphasis on convictions. You'll be working with the prosecutors quite a bit. Not that much paperwork. Lots of paperwork in criminal investigative jobs. Must work with judges and mostly just keep them happy. Here you have to work with prosecutors, not just keep them happy, but make sure that the knuckleheads are convicted. And this is primarily protective and enforcement. An agent job, primarily investigative. So hopefully this has given you some insight into the different differences, I guess, between the 2 jobs, what to expect. Put a little video on just on the training program, so I think you get an idea of the environment. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to put something on about what marshals are facing just in the last few months.
Marshals! We train to fight! We get to fight! We stay in fight! We win the fight! Marshals! Marshals!
announcements, you might ask, what was the point of putting that on? It didn't show much, they're just yelling. If you think that was stupid, that tells you something, okay? Don't sign up for their program, okay? That's what they make you do, okay? So if you don't want to be treated like that, don't apply for those jobs, They want you to be very enthusiastic. They want you to be very up. They want you to be very up on their agency. And if you roll your eyes, you look like you think it's BS, they're going to focus in on you. You're going to have a bad experience. So, you have to get yourself mentally prepared for it. And, it's kind of like a military boot camp. The next video I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on this one, but it's going to be on not so much the fugitive, which, is very interesting, but this is a more mundane task. Guarding the federal courthouses during last year's riots and what some of these guys had to put up with, okay? Hope you have a good day. I want to extend my congratulations to my next door neighbor, Carlos Del Toro. I just spoke with his wife. He's been nominated by Jumpin' Joe to be Secretary of the Navy. So he will be over the Navy if he passes the Senate hearing, the Marine Corps, and all of that. So my advice to him, get rid of all that woke stuff. But I don't think he's going to listen. But okay, thank you for watching.